Good morning, everyone. Bella! Bella, Bella, Bella! There we go. I knew the knuckleheads would start playing. It took, I think, 3 or 4 days for Red Bull to start playing. Now that hay was for the plant, but you see how it calmed them down as well, right? Zoe! Easy. So, let's see. Chloe, stop. We have Vinny here. Gonna have him probably for, I don't know, I think like 3 weeks or so. And we have the Shadow, who loves the plants. We have Bella, Spike. We have Mavis here. We have Augie, Vinny, Zoe. Carly's over there sniffing by the fridge. Sambuca's locked onto something. See that stance? Hey! Go! I don't know what he sees out there. There's all kinds of stuff. There's dogs barking over here. We got a bunch of homeless people hanging out, tents and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have people walking by and all kinds of good stuff. Cats, squirrels. This is a target-rich environment for the unstable dog. So everybody's doing good. Today I started working with Shadow on the food. We want to calm him down, not make him eat so quick, not become so intense. He would literally start shaking when he sees food. He's so excited. And I don't want to say, I think there might have been some reactivity regarding food. I'm not sure. But again, I put him on a leash. And I feed him, and then I walk away from the food and feed him, walk away from the food, calm him down, sit him down, make him ignore the food, then I'll feed him, and walk him away. So what I'm doing is I'm making it so I'm kind of desensitizing the process of eating just to try to calm him down. And again, yesterday in the videos we were kind of talking about, we were talking about how he walking a little bit slower than he was. So this is kind of a faster pace here. We'll see him slow down as things kind of settle down. We just got done eating. This is early morning, so it's like, I don't know, 7 o'clock, something like that. So they just got done eating. And another thing people might think is horrible, but what I want him to do is, I don't want him to sense food and freak out like he has been. So I worked, easy. So I worked with him alone, separately from the pack, with food, and so I fed him. And then I brought him into the pack, and I fed the pack without letting him eat, because he had just got done eating. But I want him to be around food and seeing dogs eating food, and I wanted to, see what the reactivity level was. And again, I had him on a leash, so if I saw any kind of crazy eye contact or anything like that, I was able to give a quick little correction with the leash and snap him out of it. And he did well. He did good. Shadow! And then we have, let's see, Vinny. Vinny's doing fantastic. And you saw Red Bull a minute ago. Right here, playing with Mavis. So Mavis is shy, insecure, and Red Bull used to be super playful and everything, and then he came back and started growling at different dogs and stuff. So you see that problem's gone as well. Here we have Bella coming out of the shell, nose to nose. Fantastic with the new dog, Vinny. So we have Ricky as well, but I'm going to watch Ricky's intensity more than anybody else's. And that was perfect. Zoe's a little bit intense here, but these two know each other very well. So here, a little bit of stiffness. Ricky stopped, tail started going up, kind of getting in that tense, dominant state a little bit as they're passing by. But then they finished passing by, nothing happened. You got Zoe over here. Zoe! Probably start rolling around here, making a lot of noise. There she goes. Timber! So Again, she's a happy, cool dog, and I want other dogs to I want to make sure that other dogs are okay with her doing something that they might not typically see. So here's Shadow just kind of cruising around, sniffing around. It's Kahlua. Kahlua! Here's Weddle. Hey, buddy. Is our other blind dog. And both of these two here are, I think, losing their sight in the process. Weddle does okay during the day, but at night he'll run into anything that's in the middle of the floor. Go. Again, when I sit down, all the dogs kind of come in. Go. But that's not something I want right now because we have a couple new dogs and I need to be able to... Hey! Like right here, Shadow coming into the pot, trying to... Go! And again, once he goes away, I stop. So by me doing that, the communication is... When the dog's messing up, I correct. And then when the dog stops messing up, I stop. So they're saying, okay, if something with what I was just doing is not right. And then that's where the communication comes, where I can kind of add discipline. Or actually, it's a type of claiming. I'm claiming these are my pots. Don't eat them. You know. Hey! So I don't want her to stare off into the distance too often. If she's sniffing, that's cool. But if she's staring, I want to go ahead and correct that and keep that mind going so that way she doesn't, again, focus and intensity are two words I don't like. So if I feel like she's focusing on something, I'm going to go ahead I'm going to go ahead and break it off. Hey! Ricky! So Ricky is smelling the plants. Augie! What are you doing, buddy? Again, Augie's right behind the chair, so I want to bring him out. Hey! Of course, it's treats. Hey, Spike's right here in the middle. So I'll tell him once, I might even tell him twice, but the third time I'm going to make a move. So now I'm watching him, and he passes by the plant. Perfect. But now Shadow is probably... I thought for sure Shadow was going to sniff the plant. And again, I don't care if they sniff the plant, but if they do it with focus or intensity, then that sniffing... Hey! Will lead that. See? He's going to the exact same spot where I corrected him twice before. So that was like probably 3, 4, 5 minutes ago. So he is walking around, and then he ends up going right back. So, but and then by me saying hey as before he even gets to it, he turned around and walked away real quick. So he's understanding that this is an area that I'm going to go ahead and claim. And the only reason I'm claiming it... Hey! The only reason I'm claiming it is because I don't want that intensity to go into starting to chew the... I understand they're dead. But this could be a bed, this could be a sock, this could be a shoe. If they use that mind frame for different things, we're watching him. We're not saying no because he's not messing up yet. But if he starts to make a beeline for it, then at that point I'm going to say no. And the other point that I was saying no was when he was getting under the staircase, because I don't want him... It's all fenced in and everything. I don't know if you guys can see that. The fence goes all the way up here, comes all the way down here, and behind, so he can't get out. But I don't want him to be over here trying to like almost challenge the boundary a little bit. So see, I come up, and also, we keep the food there. So I don't want him to... start to pay attention to the food, try to track the food, try to follow the food. Unless it's an exercise I'm trying to work where it's like a search and rescue kind of thing where trying to activate his nose. But his nose is working fine, He's very curious. He's very aware of the surroundings, the environment. He's curious to the extent where he's not being dominant, not being intrusive, not breaking things, not moving quick. So... I want to bring that out. Okay, we're watching to see if he goes back to the beeline. Okay, so now he's going back to where he was staring at aimlessly. But then again, it's all field back there. So he might be smelling a squirrel or seeing a cat or whatever the case may be. So At that point, when he's turned away from me, I'm going to start looking at his body language. If his tail's like that, and then all of a sudden it goes straight up in the air, he saw something. So we're watching here. I'm okay. I'm okay. If he goes underneath, I'm going to stop that. But see how he's looking back and forth? He's not focusing. He's just checking things out. I'm cool with that. Zoe! So Zoe's over there looking up. That's how you start to get, what they call it, counter surfing. So here we got some curiosity between Bella and Shadow with Mavis. And remember, Mavis yesterday made Shadow uncomfortable. And that's really not going on right now. Mavis! Mavis is a cool dog. She's nervous, but once she like warms up, man, she's playful. Look at that. Hey! Again, a different plant over there, so I'm going to go ahead and correct that. So now I'm making my association that anything that's similar to that, don't pay too much attention to it. Again, I don't care if there's a random sniff or he goes by and checks it out. But if he's walking by and then he stops and he starts sniffing, then I'm going to go ahead and probably... And again, this is for the first couple days. This is so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to counterbalance that intensity. And so once that occurs, then I don't care if he smells the plants because I know he's not going to chew them, because if he chews them, I'll have a foundation that I can correct. But right now I'm building this foundation so that way I can correct his behavior without touching him, without calling him, without trying to be intimidating or anything, but just by my presence and the way that I'm dealing with him in whatever situation is going on. So he's probably going to go back under. Hey! So now I back off. Again, we have this pacing, but the pacing is currently at a lower speed. He's walking a lot slower around. And again, I'm not an expert on blind dogs, but from what I talked to a vet, actually 2 different vets, about them and behaviors and traits that they kind of get. Especially like, he's not blind, he's going blind. So as things maybe get dimmer, maybe he tries to balance that with using a nose more or something like that. So I don't want to mess that up, but at the same time, I don't care if he's blind or deaf or only has 2 legs or whatever the case. Hey, whatever the case may be. If he's growling when there's food, or if he's hey, if he's he is biting the owner's arm, not like a fight, but at the same time, it's so he's pushing up against the fence. I'm going to stop that. Go. So he backed off, so I back off. So see his tail? Not nervous, not scared. Okay, but he did just... okay, cool. If he would have just gone back, then I know that I wouldn't have done anything by asking him to leave, so I would have had to do that at a more intense level. And what that would look like is that I would kind of stay with him for an extra 2 or 3 seconds to make sure that he understands that he's not welcome. Again, I don't care if he's by the fence, but you see how he's at the fence, like... So we're going to see where he goes right now. So I'm going to correct him right now. Hey! And so now I can correct him very easily because I'm catching it at the right time, because I've influenced him and I made the communication clear that I don't want you trying to push up on that gate or that gate. Can you see how it would be a similar kind of situation? So, good boy. So first couple days, structure. And during that we kind of get a bond. So I just sat down and he comes in. So I'm still not going to pet him, because he's a nervous dog. So if I pet, he'll be like, whoa, hey. So I don't want to build that kind of relationship. I want him, so if he were to come over here like Zoe and calm down and sit down and hang out next to me, I just saying her name, she comes in. At that point, then I'll go ahead and give affection. So my goal is to be able to give him affection all the time, but my rule that I like to use is I'm not going to give affection to anything other than a calm dog, because I want to nurture that calmness. So my affection becomes a reward. So rather than giving him a little cookie, it's me. So I feel like I'm a better reward than a little piece of cookie. So what happens is I'm building this bond. And so by the time he leaves, he'll be like any of these dogs that whenever I sit down, they just kind of come over to me, And I'm not giving any of these guys affection. I'm still talking about Homeboy. But you can kind of see where that leads. Anyway, folks, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you watching. If you like the dogs, give it a thumbs up. And I'll look forward to making another video soon. Peace!